school, the whole reason I started writing songs was because I was alone a lot of the time. And, you know, I'd sit there in school and I'd be hearing people like, oh my God, this party we're going to is going to be so awesome on Friday. Everyone's invited except for her over there, you know, like, and I just wouldn't be invited to stuff, and I would sit there and I'd be like, it's okay because I can write a song about this later. And here I am at 20, and I'm still saying that when I go through tough times. So it's like, you know, that's...
You're a role model, and you know it.
Well, I definitely think about a million people when I'm getting dressed in the morning. And that's just part of my life now. I think it's my responsibility to know it and to be conscious of it. And it would be really easy to say, you know, I'm 21 now. I do what I want. You raise your kids. But it's not the truth of it. The truth of it is that every singer out there with songs on the radio is raising the next generation. So make your words count. I know how important it is to make the right choices for the sake of your fans. And the fact that I might maybe be considered in that same light by someone out there is such an honor. If you get to love music and appreciate music and be a part of music and have it in your life, that's a gift.
Like, if you're the girl that needs a boyfriend and then once she loses that boyfriend, needs to replace it with a different boyfriend, it's just this constant stream of boyfriends all the time. And I don't feel like I ever want to be that girl. I want to be the girl who, like, when she falls in love, it's like a big deal and it's a rare thing, I guess.
Good. That's good. That's a good thing to... A good role model.
Like this single really says a lot, because it's already hard enough being 18 and figuring out who you are and what you want to be, and people just constantly want to take you down. So if anything, this song was for my fans, because it's hard enough, and this song is basically saying we're all insecure, we all feel this way, but I think everyone's beautiful and we should just, and it's not sad, it's just fun, it's just light.
Right. It's hard because, like you said, I mean, no matter what age you are, it would hurt my feelings if I don't pay attention to it because I don't choose to let that stuff in. But it would be really hard to be growing up and you know, feel good about yourself, and then all of a sudden people are attacking you. How do you deal with that?
I mean, I get mad, I get upset. I have cried before, but I mean, I can't let it. I have such a great family. I'm so blessed. I'm here with you, so I can't focus on that. I try not to.
But that's being honest, to say that you get mad or get sad or cry, because even no matter how blessed you are, no matter how great your life is, you know, you're a human being with emotions and feelings, and when somebody says something really nasty about you, it doesn't matter how much money you have or how famous you are, it hurts your feelings. And I think people need to start respecting one another and say, just because someone is fortunate enough to have a career.
And that is exactly what this single says.
Hi, I'm Selena Gomez. Bullying can hurt kids. It has a damaging and lasting effect on their lives. I pledge to be a very good role model, and I will treat others how I wish to be treated.
But you say that you were bullied.
I was 12 years old, and I was going to school. I was friends with everybody. Like, I was, you know, a part of the popular clique. And one day there was rumors that just started flying around. And by lunchtime, everyone hated me. It was so painful for me to go through that I decided to homeschool rather than deal with it every single day.
Because this is just so horrible. It doesn't matter if you're popular, if you're not popular. Kids can be cruel.
There was a hate petition that said, if you hate Demi Lovato, sign this page, this piece of paper, and I hated myself for a while. You know, people would say, oh, they're just jealous girls, and you know, you don't like to hear that. You want to know a reason. It's the memories that were stuck with me when I was younger, when I was more vulnerable, when I didn't have as thick of skin as I do today, that still, you know, definitely still scar. I just don't want anyone else to have to deal with that. I literally didn't know why they were being so mean to me. And when I would ask them why, they would just say, well, you're fat. I was bullied because I was fat. And then a few months later, I developed an eating disorder.
When you look at this picture, what does it make you think?
That's a little girl who loved performing.
Do you remember the first time that you cut yourself?
I was 11. I don't think that I was ever trying to kill myself, but I knew that if I had ever gone too far, that I wouldn't care. There were some times where my emotions were just so built up, I didn't know what to do. The only way that I could get instant gratification was through an immediate release on myself. Hey guys, I'm Demi Lovato. My parents raised me like, don't believe the hype, you know, just do what you do, love what you do. I realized that there's screaming fans at the premiere, and then I was famous, and then it happened. 12 years old, and I was going to school. I was friends with everybody. Like, I was, you know, a part of the popular clique, and one day there was rumors that just started flying around, and by lunchtime, everyone hated me, and I was like, okay, this is just gonna blow over. I got threats on my phone. There was a hate petition that said, if you hate Demi Lovato, sign this page of this piece of paper, and there was in the bathroom stall there was Demi's hate wall, and people would just write horrible things on the wall. They could never say anything back other than you're fat, or you're ugly, or you're saying just horrible things. So for the longest time I pinned that on myself, and I thought that was the reason. So I dealt with self-image issues until this day. You know, it's a battle that I deal with every day. It left definitely an impression on me. And it's funny because I can hear things that are said about me today, and I just brushed off. Like, if somebody were to say, like, you know, she's ugly or whatever, she's this or that, like, I wouldn't care less. But it's just the memories that were stuck with me when I was younger, when I was more vulnerable, when I didn't have as thick of skin as I do today, that still, you know, definitely still scar. I never imagined my life would ever turn out this way. I mean, sure, I had my hopes, but I never thought that I'd be performing in front of thousands of people or surrounded by a never-ending spree of unbelievably supportive fans. I never thought that I would live a life like this, but then one day I woke up and everything had changed.
And I just ran out of band-aids. I don't even know where to start, 'cause you can bandage the damage. You never really can fix a heart.
Last year, everything stopped, and for the next 3 months, I woke up in a treatment center every day, away from my family and friends. I spent a lot of time and holidays thinking there. I thought about the sadness that I felt, the pain that I was in, and the addictions that I was struggling from. When I got out, I recorded some songs about how bad things got, and eventually, you know, something positive came out of it. And then I began to work on other songs too, and they were about the most important lesson that I had learned during that 3 months, that life is what you make of it. My life began to change again, and I became happier, healthier, and stronger.
'Cause you can bandage the damage. You never really can fix a
Obviously,
heart.
a lot of young girls are looking at you and seeing that you went through stuff that maybe they're going through right now. And how can you, in a quick soundbite, how do you talk to those girls and say, you know, what advice do you have for them?
Well, one of the reasons why I became so outspoken when I decided to come out of treatment and talk about my issues was because when I grew up and I was dealing with the pressures to be thin, it was the time in the tabloids when very, very skinny girls were on the cover of every magazine. And that's what I was looking up to. Mm-hmm. So that's what I had to idolize. I don't want that for young girls to idolize.
No. Unhealthy.
It is. It's very unhealthy. And there was nobody out there for me to look at and say, you know what, maybe this is unhealthy. Maybe starving myself isn't the answer. So I want to be that for a 13-year-old girl at home deciding whether or not to eat dinner, or a 18-year-old girl deciding whether or not to keep her breakfast down. You know, there needs to be a role model out there. And for the first time in my life, I actually feel like one.
Good, good.